Greetings once again. Thanks for joining me for another edition of Electric Avenue's YouTube updates. This is the second update this week. You guys are getting a lot of riches here from me. So I just want to say thanks for continuing to watch. I'm going to try and keep this one sort of quick and brief as much as possible. There's a ton of stuff coming out for even early December. This is December 12th, 2025. And these are the new releases in the store. There's a lot to talk about. If you watch my other video from a couple days ago, I ran down my top 20 of the year. My number one was Jens Lekman, Songs for Other People's Weddings. If you want to hear a little bit more about that, you can watch that video. But I will say it's a great album. It's very melodic. He's a singer-songwriter from Sweden. Features a woman named Matilda Sargren on vocals with him. He found her in like want ads basically, and what an incredible voice. If you like people like Robin, she has a great clear kind of voice. What a talent. And so anyway, this album, it's like an hour and 20 minutes long, but it's an epic. There's a author named David Levithan who wrote a book called Nick and Nora's Playlist, and he's also written a book with the same title. They collaborated on the story, and basically it's kind of Jens' story. He once wrote a song called If You Ever Need Someone, a Stranger to Sing at Your Wedding, and it kind of became a self-fulfilling prophecy where between gigs and recording he would go out and sing at people's weddings for extra cash because Spotify wasn't paying the bills. And so this has kind of got his typical sort of loops and orchestrations. It's kind of a lush album. It's got some 80s throwback nostalgia. And it's kind of a story about how he can't get his own relationship to work because he's traveling, watching all these other people tie the knot constantly. And I thought, it's an album that really needed more attention. It was fairly critically acclaimed, and I don't know, maybe because I've played for a lot of people's weddings and whatnot, it struck a chord with me in a way. But I do love that album. So Jens Lekman, if you want to see my other 19, watch that video. So okay, this week I always start with box sets first. Pink Floyd and Wish You Were Here, the box set. So this is a very nice $260 tome, and I don't expect a lot of people. If you are getting this, if you want to get this from me, let me know, because I probably won't have these in the store on the shelf much. But this is a deluxe edition, 4 LPs on clear vinyl, including the original album. Rarities include 6 previously unreleased and alternate versions, Live at Wembley 74 demos, hardcover book with unseen photos, Blu-ray, a replica Japanese 7-inch poster from Nebworth, comic book tour program. I mean, if you like Pink Floyd, and it is one of their best, if not their best album, in my opinion, that might be something you want to get. But let me know soon. Now, if you just want the vinyl version of that and not all that other stuff, there's the 3 LP edition that features the main album remastered, and then the 2 rarities discs, which have extra stuff, and this runs in the 70s. So that might be something to think about. Like I said, I think it's probably their best album. I don't know, Animals, yeah, Any Given Day, Metal, it just depends, Dark Side. Oasis and a singles box set, 4 7-inch singles. This little gold box, around $80-$85, contains Some Might Say, Roll With It, Wonderwall, and Don't Look Back in Anger, and the B-sides. Warning, rock and roll can seriously damage your health. So that's a nice little box set from Oasis. Oasis has been putting out a ton of stuff this year, so can't say they weren't capitalizing on that reunion tour. Goose finally back in store with their second album this year, Chain Your Dragon. This is a 3 LP set, $56, as was the last one. So they're turning into King Gizzard. They're the next King Gizzard, apparently. Goose, jam band, but they do lots of different kinds of music. it's cool to see that happening for them. Hold on just a second. I don't like seeing things slide around. Been at least 5 years, I think, since I've seen this, and a new vinyl pressing of Counting Crows, Recovering the Satellites. Probably my favorite album of theirs, I would say. Remastered from original quarter-inch production master tapes. So it is remastered, featuring the songs A Long December, Angels of the Silences, and Daylight Fading. This was the one that came just after August and Everything After, featuring A Long December. That's a great album. I'm only showing this because I missed it a couple months ago. I don't know how I missed this, and I did order a couple for the store now, just in case people were out there looking for Randy Newman's Trouble in Paradise, one of the best albums of the 80s. This is the one that featured I Love L.A., also has the very controversial Christmas in Cape Town and Same Girl. His songwriting is just on another level as far as like the satire involved here, but this is a really great record of his, and one of his most iconic. And yeah, this was a Rhino Reserve. So anyway, for those of you that were like, hey, where was the Randy Newman? There it is, finally. Took me a while to figure that out. Okay, a bunch of jazz this week. Clifford Brown and Max Roach. This is a classic on Verve Acoustic Sounds. So this is nice gatefold tip-on jacket, mastered at QRP quality. Really great. This is like an audiophile pressing. This is probably one of the best audiophile pressing versions of this you're ever gonna hear, I would guess. So that is out. The other Verve Acoustic Sounds this week, because they do it usually in twos. Wes Montgomery is Bumpin', and this is another instant classic record, originally on Verve. It has the love theme from the Sandpiper, Shadow of Your Smile, Here's That Rainy Day, Quiet Thing, Musty, Con Alma, Bumpin', Mikosa, and Tear It Down. So, and another really great sonic addition to their catalog. Speaking of Max Roach, the new Verve Vault series, we get Max Roach Percussion Bittersweet. And this is a sort of a fusion classic, sort of. It's an Impulse label, made in Germany. So, you know, the pressings are probably pretty good. All the Verve Vaults have been pretty good so far for a new series. And 4 for Train from Archie Shepp. And this one actually was done, I think, recently on a different label, but this one looks better. These are both done by Ryan K. Smith, who is one of the other really great mastering engineers other than Kevin Gray. So if you're like, well, who did those? And also Blue Note, we get Blue Note Classics this week. Johnny Griffin's Blue Note Volume 2 is the name of this record. Johnny Griffin. This features Lee Morgan, Hank Mobley, John Coltrane, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, and Art Blakey. I mean, talk about top-notch players. The other one this week, Jimmy Smith's House Party. And this features Lee Morgan, Curtis Fuller, Lou Donaldson, George Coleman, Tina Brooks, Kenny Burrell, Eddie McFadden, Art Blakey, and Donald Bailey. I mean, yeah. amazing players there. So it's cool to see those. Now, if you're into Philly jazz and you know about the Strata East label, they've been starting to have some of their stuff get made. And in conjunction with the Mack Avenue Music Group, there are 3 releases coming out this week also. The Heath Brothers, Albert, Jimmy, and Percy, featuring Stanley Cowell, and this is called Marchin' On. And these are, again, nice gatefold pressings, tip-on jackets, this sort of very nice presentation. These records, I had someone who came in like last year who had a handful of Strata East originals that were maybe, I want to say maybe like 8 or 10 of them or something like that. About 10, maybe a dozen. Each one of those records sold between $200 and $400. So these are actually kind of reasonable. Also, we get Music Inc. by Charles Tolliver and Cecil McBee. And there's Stanley Callaghan. This one also on Strata East. These are pressed on 180 gram. And yeah, lists all the people playing on there too with them. This was quite a big big group on that one. There says mastered from the original analog tapes. Kevin Gray did the mastering on, did he do all three? He did, I think he did this one. I don't know if he did all three here. Let me just check. Kevin Gray. Yeah, Kevin Gray did all of these. Didn't I just mention him? Cecil McBee, Mutima. This one was the third one that is coming out this week. So if you like kind of fusion, psychedelic, experimental type jazz, maybe these are the records for you. But you kind of see all the like great players. Dee Dee Bridgewater is actually featured on this one. She went on and had a pretty major jazz career as a vocalist. All right. Also, Keith Jarrett's Köln concert, Köln. This is like a quintessential jazz record made in Germany. This pressing, original 2 LP on a gatefold packaging. It's a very kind of thick thick cover, tip on. 50th anniversary features new liner notes in English and German, an art print with his portrait and signature. Yeah, this runs about $70 though, so this one's a little bit more pricey. I guess it must be some sort of audiophile edition. Osibisa and Monsore. There's a repressing of this album. I'm not sure what year this came out. Charlie Records did this in the UK. It doesn't say what year exactly this came out, but usually, again, sort of like fusion, world jazz kind of stuff. Osibisa. Let's see. Oh, this actually came out last Friday, but we finally got them. Phantom of the Opera, repressed on red and black smoke vinyl, I believe. As this says red vinyl, but this is the North American edition. This is the original Broadway cast. Back on vinyl, finally. Sarah Brightman, Michael Crawford, and what a great performance this is. And great album. One of the best Broadway musicals, right? Well, at least one of the most popular. New release from Juliana Hatfield, Lightning Might Strike. And this is a original album, so no, not a covers album. She'd been doing covers albums recently for Olivia Newton-John, ELO, and The Police. And this is a solo record. Long, Slow, Nervous Breakdown, Popsicle, My House Is Not My Dream House, Harmonizing with Myself. That's the name of some of these songs. She's a great singer-songwriter, artist, and awesome. Portugal the Man and their new album, Shish. And this is on their own new label. They were in the label system for a while. Woodstock was a really big album. I believe their child has had a lot of health issues. And anyway, this is on, it's an independent record store edition on Denali Blue color vinyl. So new Portugal the Man. New album from Health called Conflict DLC. They sound kind of like a hybrid of Nine Inch Nails type artist. Usually, at least, sort of that kind of industrial rock. This is Translucent Ruby Red vinyl. Their new album, Health. All right, they got some reissues here. The Band, Best of the Band. And this is the first time on vinyl in decades, newly remastered, includes The Wait, The Night They Drove Old Dixie Down, Up on Cripple Creek, Ophelia, and many more. I think a lot of people might have originals of this album or the albums that those songs came from, but it's still kind of cool to have them in one spot. Alan Parsons Project. This is Tales of Mystery and Imagination, Edgar Allan Poe. And they recently reissued I, Robot, and then this is another one. Not quite as popular as that, but it still sold 1 million copies. Critically acclaimed, came out in 1976. a legendary prog pop masterpiece based on Edgar Allan Poe's work. This is half-speed mastered. Features A Dream Within a Dream, The Raven, Telltale Heart, etc. So Alan Parsons gets a reissue. Death Cab for Cuties, Kintsugi gets a reissue as well. This is a gatefold double LP. It just hasn't been available for a little while. I don't know if there's any color vinyl. It doesn't say that. But this was their album, like 2-3 albums ago. It was a really good record, so it's good to see that back around. If you're a fan of this guy, you might be interested in this. That was a very cryptic statement. Gary Newman's Telecon. I'm not sure exactly which way this is supposed to go. Telecon gets a new remaster. It's an expanded deluxe edition for the 45th anniversary. It is on Rainbow Sparkle black vinyl, for one thing. It features 4 newly discovered tracks and a 1980 tour book replica, which you can kind of feel inside is kind of puffy here. But yeah, I think this runs about $70. So it's a little more pricey, but it has all this special stuff in it. Okay. Taking Back Sunday, Tell All Your Friends, a reissue of this album. Very popular album for them. This is on Maelstrom vinyl. It's kind of a bluish color. Limited edition indie record store exclusive. Their 2002 debut. And it features the song Timberwolves of New Jersey, because I believe they are from that area. Blur, and a reissue of their album The Great Escape, the 30th anniversary edition, and a bonus disc of B-sides. Now, this artwork has been sort of controversial. If you've ever seen the cover of The Great Escape, it's a little like, you know what? But I think it's pretty cool, actually. And it makes me want to buy it again. I don't know, but it does feature a bunch of bonus stuff. So there's 4 sides. I think the original was 4 sides, but it was sort of the album spread out. Here you get the full album on record 1, and record 2 is 12 bonus tracks, looks like. So bonus disc of B-sides. Sometimes those songs are, hard to find, and sometimes the B-sides are as good as the album tracks. Let's see, you've got Rum Sodomy and the Lash from the Pogues. This has been out before, although this again features a second LP of bonus tracks. Features The Parting Glass, A Pistol for Patty Garcia, London Girl, Rainy Night in Soho, The Body of an American, and Planksy Knoll Hill. That's the Poetry in Motion EP. Then it's got their Janice Long radio session for BBC, 11th July 1985, and another side of bonus tracks, live things, and ends with Do You Believe in Magic rough mix. So this is limited edition red marbled vinyl for the 40th anniversary. So Pogue stuff, R.I.P. Shane MacGowan. I was just hearing the song Fairy Tale of New York the other day with him and Kirsty MacColl, and I turned to my wife and I said, dead and dead. It's very sad, But, I mean, that's a controversial song now, but fun song. Violent Femmes, a translucent blue edition of their self-titled record. So get their self-titled on color vinyl. Now, I think the other one was still available, but if you're into the color vinyl collecting, and that's a classic record, Depeche Mode's Ultra. They've been reissuing a lot of Depeche Mode's older records, and this one is one of those that I think is still fairly popular and was kind of hard to find. And this one does feature Home and It's No Good were the singles. Also Sister of Night, Barrel of a Gun was a single, and The Love Thieves. So it's a great album. It was their last kind of that sort of had that 80s or 90s sort of sound before they started kind of branching out and getting a little more like either like techno-y or more soulful. I'm not really sure which, but a little of both. World Parties Bang, another R.I.P. Carl Wallinger. This is a great record, kind of psychedelic pop. It's Not in a Wink, a very limited one-time pressing of the White Album's Carl's World Party on white vinyl. This is also very reasonably priced. This features songs like Kingdom Come, Is It Like Today, What Is Love All About, and God Said, Give It All Away. Yeah, it's just a great psychedelic pop, power pop record. Okay, I really love this band, and they reissued a bunch of their albums, so I decided to order them. They're imports, but The Coral, and this is their debut record, featured I Remember When, Dreaming of You. It's kind of a throwback to 60s like power pop, and this is their, I think, their second album, Magic and Medicine. And this one featured In the Forest, Don't Think You're the First, Milkwood Blues. Bill Mackay is on here. All right, and a lot of sort of like character-driven songs. And then the third one, which I thought was really great, Invisible Invasion. And this one featured Portishead's Jeff Barrow, I believe, did some production on this record. Kind of when he was doing stuff for the Horrors. I think he did that right after this. But anyway, this one has She Sings the Morning, Cripple's Crown, So Long Ago. So those are really great albums. If you like things like The Verve, and I'm trying to think of what else would have been popular in that era. It's a little more rustic, say, than like early Coldplay or something like that. But there's kind of that sort of Brit pop, British rock of that era. Blur a little bit. They're more kind of psychedelic side or whatever. But catchy, good harmonizing. So another reissue this week, The Dogfather by Snoop Doggy Dogg. I think there was another, The Dog Pound came out too, but this one is on exclusive graphite vinyl and was produced by Big Snoop Dogg. All right. Let's see, a few CDs to show, and well, the Pink Floyd is also available as a Blu-ray edition, and this one features the live bootleg rarities 1 and 2. It's like a Blu-ray. I think it's got audio and video stuff on it, and some jazz things. Thelonious Monk, Bremen, 1965. This is, I think, coming on vinyl. I'm not really sure, but it's another 2 CD edition. From Record Store Day, the Rahsaan Roland Kirk ones that were out, Seek and Listen, and this one, Vibrations in the Village. Both of those are out on CD this week. And then as far as the Strata East stuff, you've got the Heath Brothers, Cecil McBee, and Charles Tolliver, etc., with Music Inc. All 3 of those are available on CD. Another Record Store Day one that came out on CD, written by Ronnie Diodario. This is the father of the guys from the Lemon Twigs, and the Lemon Twigs are actually on this record. Brian and Michael. I think they do most of the music on it, and then and they have a new record coming out soon too. Todd Rundgren, Sean Ono, Lennon, Mac DeMarco, Darian, I can't say that, Darian, and Matt Jardine. It's too early for names like that for me. And Dar Williams, her new CD, Hummingbird Highway, folk pop throwback. She's got a song here called Maryland, Maryland, Hummingbird Highway. So one little thing I just want to say too is it's been a really kind of like tough year, a couple of personal losses, and I had this wonderful man come in yesterday who I hadn't seen in a couple of years, and he used to come in about every 2 to 3 weeks. And he said to me, I could hear his voice was very frail, and he relayed to me that he'd been dealing with cancer and that it was terminal, and that he thought that this might be his last Christmas, and he just wanted to come by and say hello one more time, even though he wasn't buying things. And it really touched me, and I just want to say, thank you guys to keeping this relationship that we have, as it seems for those of you who are sort of like invested in helping us maintain our job and maintain our business, and this beautiful thing of pushing art out into the world, which I think we need more of and less of this anger that's been going on. I just want to say thank you. And I've said that a lot, but also it's very meaningful to me and to us as a store that we feel like we have that kind of connection and effect on people, and that they really you all reciprocate with us the way that I hope we do with you. And it's just different than a lot of other experiences you're gonna have in retail in the world. And there goes my phone. And I suppose it's probably closer to being like a bartender without the drinking or the alcohol. But I guess if music is your drug, then that's great. It's probably a lot safer. As my one friend says, we kind of joke about, well, you could be laying in an alley with a needle in your arm. That would be a lot worse. So enjoy the music and enjoy every day. I think we take that kind of thing for granted. I just recently found out that one of my former coworkers had passed away last year, and it was sort of tragic because he was a really great guy. He was the kind of person that would do anything for you if you needed your computer fixed. And I don't know, I mean, I'm not sure he even went to school for that, but where I live now is about 1,200 miles from where I grew up. And when I moved here and I was working here and I met him, he's like, I know exactly where you're from. I lived in your hometown for a while. I worked in the campus bookstore that you went to college at your undergrad. And I was like, again, what are the chances? 1,200 miles away, and you meet this person. And he turned out to be just such a great guy and a really cool person and very helpful, kind of person that would do anything for anybody. Lived a very Spartan life too, but he moved out to the other side of the state a few years ago and kind of lost track. So anyway, that was kind of a heart-wrenching thing. So I think, and I've had friends who've had losses recently. It's always tough around the holidays and Christmas dealing with that kind of thing. Even if it's like pets are maybe even worse because you form such a bond with your pets. So anyway, my best to all of you. If anyone is dealing with like difficulty or heavy stuff or whatever, just know that, there are others that are going through the same, and we all sort of care about you, and we need to lift each other up. So enjoy the music, and thanks again, guys. I really appreciate all your viewing, and have a happy, great, healthy 2026. Gotta get better. Peace and love. I don't know if I'll be doing more videos the rest of this year. Maybe. There's only a couple of weeks left and there's not much coming out, but I'll probably do some kind of like look towards 2026 when I get myself a little more collected. So thanks again, and take care of yourselves. Have a great holiday, and we'll see you next time. All right.